Hi, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast with everyone's favorite OBGYN, Dr. Angela Jones. Have you ever been too embarrassed or shy to ask your own doctor about your, girl parts? Well, you've come to the right place to get straight answers. Feel free to ask Dr. Angela anything women's health related. Obstetrics and gynecology? She keeps it real. Pregnancy? She's been there, done that. Menopause? She'll get you through. Young or old, Dr. Angela's got you covered, girl. Now here's Dr. Angela.
What's good, people? This is Dr. Angela, everyone's favorite OBGYN, and I would like to welcome you to episode 211 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. So I'm going to just share this really funny story with you. I'm actually really embarrassed to tell you this, but hey, you guys share, so I'm going to share. So I've been harping and just delighting and relishing in this recent vacation that I went on. It was amazing, but getting there was full of so much drama. So we get to the airport and we're checking in and we're scanning our passports, and all of a sudden we scan my mini-me's passport and this big red sign comes up and says, you need to see an agent, whatever. So long story short, our mini-me's passport was expired. We're supposed to be getting on the plane in 3 hours, and the passport is expired. So needless to say, we missed the flight and we had to reschedule. But something that I don't know if you knew this, but you can get a passport expedited like nobody's business. We basically ended up driving to New York City, and we went to the U.S. Department of Immigration and Passports or whatever, and we were able to get a passport in 24 hours. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you had to pay kind of a shitload of money to get it done, but we were able to get it done. So if you ever find yourself in a fix, if there happens to be one of these passport centers near you. I think there's one in New York City. There's one in Dallas. There are two more. One in Pennsylvania, I think. They're really randomly located. You can pay to get this done. You just got to have a copy of your travel itinerary and all of the necessary documents. It was crazy. And again, I'm really embarrassed to tell you that, but it did happen to us and we got through it just at a price. Anyway, we're getting questions from all over the place. Social media, direct email, whatever. I recently got a question from someone in Chicago, and I'm going to read you a little bit of her message to me. She said, "Hi, Dr. Angela. I just wanted to say you are amazing. Yada, yada, yada. I've listened to you on Lady Lovin' and your own podcast, and I wished I lived closer to you so that I could go to you. Oh, that makes me so happy and feel so good." Anyway, she goes on to say, "I have never been or ever had a gynecological exam. Eek, 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 eek. I'm worried about it being painful. I am 30 years old." And so, you know what? It's fine. That's what I'm going to say to you, Miss Bria. It's fine. I mean, knowing is half the battle, and you recognize and you're cognizant of the fact that you need to see an OBGYN to have your girl parts checked out. You need a breast exam. At 30, you do need a pap smear. I mean, we didn't talk about sexual activity or anything like that, but everyone's so afraid to go to the OBGYNs. I'm afraid to go to the dentist, but that's a whole nother conversation and a completely different topic that we've had before, and we've talked about before, and we probably will revisit again. But Bria, just go to the GYN. And, the visit really is not that bad. I mean, for me, the first thing that I do is a meet and greet. I talk to you with your clothes on, and I just get to know you, not just your medical history, but a little bit about you as the person. And then I go over with you, before we even do the exam, before you even get changed, what the exam is going to involve. I let you know what I'm doing step by step so that there are no surprises. And honestly, everyone dreads the pelvic exam. It's not that bad. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that will probably beg to differ. I mean, sure, it's no one's favorite exam, and sure, I don't know anyone that ever gets used to, having a pelvic exam done or getting a pap smear, but it is one of those necessary evils, specifically if you've never had one, and specifically if you're sexually active, because pap smears screen for what? Cervical cancer, and we know that cervical cancer has a very strong association with HPV, which is sexually transmitted. So don't worry, don't fear. I wish that you lived closer so that you could come and see me, because I take really good care of you, but I'm sure that your gynecologist will take good care of you as well. Just make sure that you ask a lot of questions, and just make sure that you feel comfortable, and just get it done, okay? Just get it done. One and done, and luckily, the GYN is one of those doctors that, depending on whose guidelines you're following, that you see either yearly or, well, I'm going to say yearly because I like to see my patients yearly. Even though you might not be getting pap smears every year, I do think that you should touch base with your GYN on an annual basis. So, Bria, I hope that has helped to alleviate some of your fears. And just good luck. And let me know how that first visit went. You direct message me on Facebook. I would love to hear how the visit went and know that you're okay. I'm sure, actually, that you are okay. Thank you so much for reaching out. And thank you all for listening, for continuing to listen, for continuing to follow, and for continuing to, as my mini-me says, entertain my nonsense, which is just so abundant and incredibly fun. If you happen to have a topic or question or concern that you would like addressed on the Ask Dr. Angela podcast, you know where to reach us, www.askdrangela.com. That's AskDrangela.com. You can sign up for the blog post, the podcast, our YouTube station, follow us on social media. We are hot. It's where it's going down. We would love to hear from you. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this quote that I came across from Leonardo da Vinci. Good advice. Every now and then go away. Have a little relaxation. For when you come back to your work, your judgment will be sure. Since to remain constantly at work, you lose power of judgment. Go some distance away, because then the work appears smaller and more of it can be taken in at a glance. And the lack of harmony or proportion is more readily seen. That's what I just did. I just came back from an amazing vacation, and it really does put things more in perspective. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, look better, feel better, be better.
Thank you for listening to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. For more information on women's health and the show notes for this episode, please visit Dr. Angela at www.askdrangela.com. While you're there, don't forget to leave your own message for Dr. Angela. See you soon! All of the information provided and discussed in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and should not take the place of consulting a physician. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or illness and does not and should not replace treatment from a medical professional.